What's up, guys? Sarfo Carbell once again, and guys, welcome back. Let's continue with the series. I don't want to do much talking. Let's just jump right into the video. So if you've already downloaded the folder, the project folder from GitHub, the link is in the description. If you haven't done that, make sure to go there, check it out, and go and download the folder so you can get access to the completed code as well as all the pictures and videos and whatever you are using in this project. If you have done that, let's just jump right in. First thing I'm going to create an empty folder. Yes, a new folder. You can go here, shift new folder, and I'm going to name this folder responsive portfolio. Enter, and I'm going to go into this one. All right, and in here I'm bringing my assets. So this is the assets where we have all the pictures and everything that we need to make this amazing website. Everything is here, from 5 icon to all the illustrations and everything that we need to make. So that's pretty cool, right? What I'm going to do, I'm going to right click on an empty space and I'm going to say open with code, but my PC here doesn't have that option. So I'll just go to launch my VS Code like this, and then you hold Control and press KO. Control KO. That's all. You can just go to file and just say open folder, Control K and then Control O. So I want this folder, desktop. I want responsive portfolio. Where is it? This is it. And I select the folder. So as you can see, everything is open. Everything that we had in there, all the designs and everything is showing to show that we are in the right folder. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create my HTML and my CSS files. So I'll just come here and just say index.html, and then I'll create the next one. I'm going to call this one style.css, and the last one I'm going to create main.js, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll close this page and then I'll come back here. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to press exclamation mark. That's hold shift and 1 to get the exclamation mark, and you can see already if I press enter, this thing comes. I just tab, and I'm going to name this one. Let's look at the very main project. We have personal portfolio at the top there, so I'll just type personal portfolio, and then in here I'll just type AMA and save it. Now I'm going to click go live. As you can see here, go live. If I click on it, what it does is that it opens a new browser here, so that whenever I commit any changes, I make any changes and I save the changes, automatically it refreshes in the browser, and that's what we call live server. I'll press the start button and press left so that I can put this one right here and also put this one here. Yeah, so now I'm sharing my screen so that you can see whatever we are doing in here. I'll press Control B to hide my sidebar so that I can have more space to go work with. And you can see because I wrote AMA, we can see AMA here. But before I do anything, let me link my style sheet, style.css, and save it. And also anything, let me leave my JavaScript, so I'll just say script, and then I'll use the src source and I'll say main.js, and then save that. I was going to continue, but then you're going to be using a font called Roboto font. I would like to just import that font, and how I'll just do it, I'm just going to come here and just type Google Fonts. The very first link is here, so I just click on the very first link like this. It takes me to Google Fonts here, and here you can search for anything. I'm using Roboto, so I just type Roboto. It's already here. I click on it. This is the style I want. I want regular. What I'll do is that I'm supposed to copy all of this here, Control C, copy, and then I'm just say Google Fonts, and then paste it. So that's the Google Fonts pasted here. You can see it neatly. Alright, so that's it. That should be pretty much it for now, and then I'm going to close it because we no longer use it. And when you go to the CSS, you're just supposed to add font family of Roboto, and then we are good to go. So I'll close that one, come back to our very personal page here. And before I do it, if you look at the very main thing that you are creating, if you look at the top here, you can see this small icon here. Yeah, that's the like the logo, and it's not on here, unlike here we don't have anything like that. And the way we can just do that one is let's just say, and come here, and then I'll give you a comment and let me see fab icon. All right, the type is going to be a 5 icon, so you can see it here. I just do this, and then automatically they've done this for me. So if I save it right now, it's refreshing. I don't know why it's taking that long. This should be the href. Let's go to the main asset folder. We have this here. You can see that the name is what, fav icon dot what, ico. But where is it found? It's found in what, asset /5 icon dot ico. When I save it now, it's going to appear here at the top, and that's so simple. Yes, that one line of code has created that small thing. It's because we already have what, a picture. Maybe in another video I'm going to show you how I actually got that picture ready, but for now let's just accept that. So that's pretty much it for the head, and then the bottom here. Let's just go straight into the HTML and let's start coding things up. Now let's go. The first thing I'm going to code the thing for the navigation here. So I'll make a very nice comment, press equal to, so that I'm going to call this one navigation. And okay, so first I'm going to create nav with a class of navbar, and then in here, there's one thing I wanted to point out. If you look at the very thing very well, you look at everything is centered. Nothing exceeds past this area. Everything is just within that thing, and that is because I have a container. I have a container that keeps everything. So that way, I don't allow things to get too wild or be able to fool around. So I'm managing everything in the middle. And if I get on a smaller screen, realize that there's still that space, that consistent space by the side here, and that's what I'm going to use the container for. So first thing, I'm going to put a class of container in here. Container, that's the first class. I'm using MS. That's why I'm typing my HTML much faster. And then in the container, now I'm going to have my navigation, well, the nav menu itself. So I'm going to have a div with a class of nav menu. Guys, if you get confused anyway, you can just let me know in the comment section below, and then I'll be there to answer all the questions. In fact, we are a family and everyone can answer the questions if you think you can. All right, and then in that place I'm going to have the logo. So I'll just comment and say I'll call this one logo, and all right, and I'm going to say a with the class of logo. The href is to lead to the home page, so I press that, and then I come here. Obviously I'm using an image, so I have to link the image. So img, all right, and the source is assets, and then in the assets I have logo.png, and then I save that. That should automatically update here. Now let's go to the, I think I'll make this one much smaller, so that okay, so that we can see everything here. So very good. So this is the logo. The next thing I'm going to have is the nav menu, as you can see here. So I'm going to say dot, first let me just say nav list. So I'm going to use an order list, so ul dot nav list, and in every nav list I'm going to have a li, that's a list item, with a class of list item. Yeah, and then these are all links. They are not just items, they are also links. So I'm going to have the links, that's the a with a class of nav link in here. For now they are not going anywhere, let's just use that. And I'm going to have work, save that. But I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 of that. So I just copy the li items like this, hold alt shift and down, 1, 2, 3, and save it. And once you come here, you can already see that they are there. But obviously the name is not work for all. The name is work for the first one, second one is going to be about, third one is going to be resume. I want to speed that up so that I make this video as short as possible. The longer videos are not really interesting to watch, but I want to make sure I don't really leave a lot of stuff out. So that's pretty much it. But if you go to the smaller view like this, you realize that this small button here comes in, and that one you have to also write the code needed for that one. So what I'm going to do is going to comment some stuff here and just call this one nav button like that, so that you can know that anytime you refer to your code, maybe like some years later, you can actually remember how you wrote this code. To be frank, I wrote this code like a long time ago. I'm not making the video, and I can still understand everything I wrote because I've documented everything in a way I can read. Makes sense? That's what I'm talking about. So the nav button, I'm going to have a div with a class of nav btn, and then in there I'm going to have 3 lines, 1, 2, 3, 1 line. People use some pictures and then when they click on it, but I want to make it amazing. Look at it. If I should click on it, look at the spinning rotation. That is what I want to teach you how to make, easy as ABC. So I'm going to have 3 lines. So divs with a class of lines, and I want 3 of it, so I just say 3, and then I save it. This is all we need to be able to write this amazing code here. So that's pretty much it, all the code for the navigation. Let's go to the very main one. That is going to be our section hero. I call that section hero for some reason. Alright, so the same way, I'm going to have a div with a class of section hero, and then I'm going to have container in there to keep everything nicely, and then don't allow things to strain away. Your love for me, baby, I'm going where. Now there's one thing I do when I'm writing my code. I actually do plan. If I should make this one full screen now, and you can see something. Realize that this one is 2 columns. If I come down here, it's also, I'm seeing the same 2 columns repeating consistently, leaving 2 columns repeating what consistently. So when I see things like that, I just want to write just a few lines of code that will apply for all of them. That way I don't have to repeat writing so many lines of code. So just a few lines of code, and I'll put them in a class, and I can apply the class to wherever I want to see 2 columns. So these 2 columns, I'm just going to give it a nice class of call2, so that whenever I want to put anything in 2 columns, I just bring the class of call2 and I get 2 divs and I'm done. I will show you when we're actually writing the CSS. Realize that it's so easy and it's so good to go. So I'll just go call2. You can put up any name. You can say split. You can put up anything, whatever name that comes into mind. Sometimes naming is that difficult. So call2, and in my first div, that is, I'm going to have everything that you are seeing here, this stuff here. That's going to be the first div, and the second div is going to be just the picture. Okay, so in the very first div, I'm going to have h1, and I'm going to say hi, comma, Lisa. Save it, and I'm going to have a paragraph, but I'm a bit lazy, so I just come and copy everything for you. I'm not typing everything up. Control C, and then Control V, and then save it. And then finally this button also is something that I like to do. I make my buttons very consistent. If you look at it very well, this button is here, it's also here and also here. So this same button is repeating itself. Why would I want to write different codes for all of them? So no, I just try to make things repetitive in nature. So, and I come here, I'm going to say a, the anchor tag for the link. I'm going to give it a class of just btn, and then for now it's going nowhere, and I'm going to say view my work. So that's view work, and save it. Let's look at how the main one is coming up. So that's it. It looks very ugly. That's what HTML is. Very ugly, without some styling. Your bones are actually ugly. It's the flesh that makes we look the way we are, right? And then today, that's pretty much it for that side. If you go here, I'm going to make the next div here, and then in here, so I'm going to just say img. I'm going to say img, and then assets, hero, illustration, and save that. And that should do it. You can see the picture is already here, but I realized I didn't even include this icons here. we already have, I'm not going to be using font also, I already have the icons already in my asset folder. So I just come here after the link, that's where they come, and I'm going to have another list. I'm going to have it a class of social icons, yeah, like this, and then I'm going to have li, and then the li, I'm going to have an anchor tag of social link, going nowhere. First one is going to be an image, so img assets, I think that's dribble, so dribble, yeah. Save it. I'll copy this one 3 times, so I have 3 of that. Alt shift and down, 1 2. First one is dribble, second one should be the hands, and then finally the last one should be linked in, like that. And if I should come back here, they're all showing here neatly. We have probably section euro already done. Let's go to things I do. Now once again, if you look at this text we are seeing here keeps repeating itself. It's here, it's also here, and then it's also here. So I'll just try to repeat myself as often as I can, and that's how I roll. I don't have to stress myself too much. So make things look neat, I'll just come here, press some equal to sign, and I'm going to say section about, and okay, so let's go div with a class of section about dot container, very important. And then in there also, the first thing you're going to see is things I do. So I'm going to create an h1, right, with a class of heading main. I'll call this one heading main, that's the main heading, and then that'll be things I do, and I'll save that. Then in here I can just go to a div to put all these things in what column. So the 2 columns that we created, that kind of thing, I'll create a div with call 2, and then in there I'm going to be having my first set. So things I do, that's this picture, and then this one here. So the first div will have the picture img with a source of strategy illustration. Guys, please, this I hope it makes sense to you. If you look at this very well, we can see that these are all 2 columns. This is one set of 2 columns on its own, another set of 2 columns on its own, and then another set of 2 columns on its own. Because I'm going to be using the same styling that I used for this home page section here, it's going to be the same thing that's going to be applying for all of them. And then that way to make you write less code, but you get a lot of things done, and it will be making it responsive far easy. Things will just go for you, and you'll be shocked. That's what I'm talking about. Let's continue. Come back here like this, and then so that's the image. The next div in here, I'm going to have h2 with a class of heading secondary, and then I'm going to say strategy. I think I type faster than I copy sometimes, and then a paragraph. But this one I'm going to copy. I can't type this very fast. Control C and Control V and save it. And so that's it. I have to copy that 3 times downwards so that I'll go. So this is called 2. I'll copy it up to here. Hold Alt Shift and down 1 1 and save it. So if you come down here, you can see it has appeared 3 times, but that's not what we want. You can come back and now make the edits that we have to edit. So this strategy. Second one is information architecture. Information architecture, and then this architect. I don't even know if I'm spelling wrong. Architect. Control C. And Control V. And if I forgot to tell you guys about live server, the reason why when I save something it automatically refreshes in the browser is I have a section called live server. You can also look it up by just searching for it. Live server. There's live server. You can just install, when you install it and you start running VS Code, you see it at the bottom here. That way when you save something, it automatically refreshes in the browser. It's one of the things that you can't do away with it. I'm sure I have a video on it. You can check the video in my list of videos too, and then you're good to go. I'll hide my sidebar, Control B again, and then let's continue. The next one will happen to be design. Design illustration, and then there's no longer strategy. This also design and development. Type is one of the things that I spend 10 minutes every day trying to do so that my typing improves, but the mistakes sometimes still want to come. Control S, save it. Alright, so that's pretty much it. All the HTML for that part as well, everything is intact. And the final part, I think so. Okay, this is some of our work. So section work, let's get that one also going. This here, section work, save that. But of course, a div with a class of section work, right? So that's section work container, and then in there I'm going to have my h1 with a class of heading main, and I'm going to say some of my work. Save that one too. Look at it, it's looking sweet at the bottom there, sweet like sweet cake, or which one? Alright, so it also follows that 2 column stuff. Everything is stacked nicely in 2 columns, just like that, looking so easy. So let's just roll with that one and let's get things going. I like this animation that comes when we move on. This cool and this easy. We'll learn to do that one quickly without any problems. So I'm going to say dot call to, as usual, call to action or call to. I'm lying, not call to action. And I'm going to have project for each of them. That's, I'll call each of them one project, and then in there I'm going to have an image, so an img with a source of project 1. I like it. This one is quite simple. And then I'll end, and then I'm going to say a paragraph text of read more. Okay, so one thing I want to do is that I want to put the images, I want to make the images linked, so that when you click automatically to take you to whichever place. So I'm going to say a with an href of nothing for now, and then so that when you click you can hold alt and up, so that when this the images become linked. So now when I click here, it will automatically take me to the next place, and then you can have or read more as what we see when we come here. There is the read more. If you see the read more there, yeah, and then an arrow. Let's create that arrow. That arrow is just, you hold ampersand sign like this and just type arrow upper right arrow, like that. So that's it. That's the upper right arrow at the bottom here, and this is our link, nice link here. Really cool. So let's just copy this one and make it 3 times. This project, as the project number 1. Hold this down. We change 1 to 2 here. We change 2 to 3 here, and then we change finally 1 to 4 here. Save it, and then everything looks pretty simple. And the final thing is going to be this one here. That looks pretty much like the very beginning, what we saw at the beginning. So probably it's same kind of code, only we just make some slight changes, and then we are probably done. So I'll just come here like this, and I'm going to say I'll name this place contact, because this is a place where our call to action to actually get in touch with us is there. So I'm going to go a div with a class of section contact. Forgive me if I'm using MS, but it's something that you have to start using. Dot container, and then inside here again dot call to, and then the call to the first div. I'm going to have our h1 in there, which says that ready to make something amazing, and then our link going nowhere for now, which says that start a new project. Pretty simple call to action, right? Save it, and finally in the other div we can have another div here with the image that says the dot assets and then contact. So that's pretty much it. All the CSS, all the HTML that we need to be able to make this amazing responsive website that we see here. So guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for sticking to the very end of this video, and I know by now you've learned something. If you haven't learned, just let me know what you learned in the comment section below, and comment if you didn't get anything and you'd like me to clarify. We'll be there, the whole family will be there to help you to solve that problem. And you know what I do, guys? I'm going to just catch you in the very next video. Click here, click whichever you have to click, and let's just jump straight into the video. Thank you so much. Peace.